Should you pass or play on State of Decay? What is State of Decay? Well, State of Decay is a survival-based zombie apocalypse game in which you are in charge of a group of survivors who hole up in a facility somewhere. The game was released on June 5th, 2013 on the Xbox 360 arcade. Now, the game on PC is clearly a console port, but it's a pretty good one. However, I really can't say 100% because I mostly play with a controller on this game. This game is definitely meant to be played with the controller. It is possible with keyboard and mouse. I've done it, but I prefer with controller. I played this game on Xbox 360 a couple months after its release, and I put probably 20 hours in the game. I liked it a lot. That was the only game I played for a long while, and it scratched an itch that I believe the zombie survival market was missing. Since the release on Xbox 360, there have been multiple re-releases. There's been the release to PC and the release to Xbox One. There are currently two versions of the game. The original version that is basically the same as the one on Xbox 360, and the PC and next-gen version. Now, the PC actually has both versions in the form of the original and the Year One Survival Edition. I am in possession of the original, and I have not upgraded to the Year One Survival Edition because I did not see a fresh coat of paint as a warrant to buy a $30 game again. I already had the DLC that it came with, so I thought, you know what, this is getting negative reviews anyway, so I might as well just stick with what I got. The current reviews for the original State of Decay on PC is 86 out of, well, obviously 100 on Steam. The Year One Survival Edition, on the other hand, has a 68% review due to, on release, there being some bugs, and it just left a bad taste in the mouth of people since Undead Labs pretty much abandoned the original game. The original State of Decay has an amazing style choice. It's kind of a mix of cartoon and realistic. It's a really nice blend, more towards the realistic side, but enough cartoon aspects to keep it slightly ageless. Now, obviously, Year One Survival Edition looks a lot better, and it's actually fixed my complaint that I'm about to give. In the original version that I am playing, it has a bit of fuzzy graphics, not enough anti-aliasing or something, probably due to it being a console port from the 360. But the Year One Survival Edition is ported from and for next-gen consoles, and it's actually a lot better looking. The goal in the game is to set up multiple outposts and maintain your main base. To maintain your main base, you need to go on scavenging runs around the city and other cities in the surrounding area and gather resources that you can use to upgrade your base in the form of plot points. There are plot points that you have on every base in which you can make greenhouses, garages to upkeep your cars, and weaponsmiths to repair and make weapons. And all of this is fully customizable. You get to choose which upgrade you have and when. The upgrades are real time, so if it says that it takes 15 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour to build, that it will be actually 30 minutes in real life. So you save at 10 minutes left, you come back with 10 minutes left. Some survivors that you will pick up have certain skills, such as they're good cooks, and there are people that are more apt to having like gun history, so they can reload ammo and potentially make weapons. So they're good people to have. On the other hand, there are also people who have the history of like being a habitual smoker, and they will have less stamina than, let's say, your main character. It's important in this game not to have just one main character. It's important to spread out and play as multiple characters because this game features permadeath. If you're playing as your main character, if you just have one main character, you got max stats, everything, and you die, that's just it. You're back to basic stats with some random person. And if you run out of playable companions, then that's just it. Game over. I think you just got to restart. Each person you rescue and each person around your base, they will sometimes give you quests, and completing these quests will give you a boost in relationship with them. You max out the relationship and you get to play as them. It's important that you get as much reputation with everybody that you can, because if you're playing as a character for a long period of time, they get tired and their stamina goes down, and they have to go to sleep and be inactive for a certain amount of time for their stamina to regain and for their health to be at max again. Because after a while, after taking a certain amount of damage, their health gets capped at a lower value and it can't get back to its max cap until they rest. As I was saying, this game features permadeath, so if your character dies or another character dies, that's just it. They're dead. They're history. Everybody at the base will mourn them and act accordingly. The permadeath aspect adds a large amount of difficulty to this game, which I feel that the majority of modern games are missing. This game is definitely replayable. I played it multiple times. Although I've never beat it, I haven't found the story to be that intriguing. I always focus more on my base building and better equipping my friends. If, like me, you really like the base building aspect and you want to make your base impenetrable, then you're going to want to get the Lifeline DLC. It puts you in the city, which is a completely new map, and you defend your base against hordes of zombies every night. You use military gear, you're part of the military, and you call in favors and stuff to help you out. It's a lot of fun, especially after you spend enough time on the main map. Also, if you beat the main game, there's another DLC called Breakdown, in which it's kind of like this. It's similar to Lifeline in the sense that it gets progressively harder. Just like in the base game, though, resources don't respawn. So once you empty a house, that's it. You can't get no more food from that house. You have to go to another one. If you loot the entire city, you got to move on to another city. So that's the same as the main game, but in Breakdown, it's even harder. There's more hordes, less resources, and you got to progress as many times as you can by finding an RV. And once you find that RV, you go on to the next level. It gets progressively harder. The main map in this game is really fun to explore. There's a lot of different areas. There's open fields, there's forests. I think it's really fun to explore. It's not the biggest map, but it's 12 square kilometers, and I think that's plenty for a game of this caliber, considering it's indie game. I believe State of Decay 2 will be a lot larger, and it'll also feature 4-player co-op, which I think will be a lot of fun. Originally in this game, they had intended on adding multiplayer, but further down the line, they said that they didn't think that it was a good aspect, and the engine wasn't really built for it, and they wanted to focus more on the single-player components. A complaint I have about this game is while there are a lot of cars, it's almost unrealistic how many drivable cars there are. I guess it is at the start of the apocalypse, but still, there's not a very large variety. There are 2 or 3 varieties of trucks, but each one of them, they're similar. One's just a little bigger. The paint job's about the only thing that changes with the cars, other than the police car. I mean, that's kind of a unique car, but it's still the same paint job for every city. The soundtrack is something that I love in this game. There's not that many songs in this game, but it's an indie title. I think that can be forgiven. What they do have, I think, is absolutely great. I really love this. I can get lost in the music sometimes. I'll just be driving down through some fields, and I'll listen to the song, and it'll be calming, even though there's so much chaos around. There's a lot of challenging aspects in the game, too. Like, for instance, there's a zombie hordes that walk around cities and on the highways. They consist of 10 to 15 zombies, which will totally come by and wreck you if you get too close. You can fight through them or plow through them with the car, which I love doing, but it can damage your car. Another challenging aspect is the zombie encampments. These are where zombies will take over houses and stuff, and they're infestations. There can be up to 20 zombies in an infestation, so you definitely got to take one of your teammates into there Otherwise, you're not going to make it out. Now, in this game, there are 4 different types of special zombies. There's an armored zombie, which you can only take out via headshots or melee. There's a bloated zombie that kind of spews out poisonous gas. He's kind of like the bloated zombie in Left 4 Dead 2. There's the Screecher that doesn't do any damage to you, but if you get too close, it'll let out a blood-curdling scream that attracts all the zombies in the area to gang up and wreck you. And last but certainly not least, there's the Feral Zombie, which is so freaking big and intimidating that if you go near it, it'll pin you down on the ground and wreck your face and rip you in half. It is so easy to die by this thing, so you definitely need a partner if you're going to go after it, and I'd advise going after it with grenades or something. I have lost many characters to the Feral Zombie. With these special zombies and feral zombies running around everywhere, you'd wonder why would you go out there in the first place. Well, in your first base you will gather resources and such just like you would anywhere else, but you'll also get a character who sits at a radio station and listens in to the surrounding chatter on other people's walkie-talkies. She will radio in and give you procedurally generated quests, as long as story quests. But a lot of the quests she gives you are procedural generated, which can be a problem because they can get kind of repetitive. But most of the time, you know, they're go over here, do some trading with these people, or go over here and save these people and add them to your collection of people at your base. And after a while it can get boring, but that's when I just go out and clear some infestations and gather supplies and stuff and prepare for a move potentially. With the procedural generated missions, there comes procedurally generated people. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people that you can collect in the game via these missions that she gives you to go rescue them. So if you lose a couple of your characters, it's not the end of the game. Just go ahead and do some of these missions and be careful. My major complaint with the game is one that can be overlooked because, you know, it's an indie game. I can forgive it, and I truly believe State of Decay 2 will fix this problem. The problem being the atrocious voice acting. It doesn't matter what character you're playing as. There's a male and a female voice. If you're playing as that character, they got that voice, and it's so easy to tell that this company did not have many people to work with in the voice acting department. Again, I believe that'll be fixed in State of Decay 2, and I'm looking forward to the game. I would definitely recommend everyone go out and play this game. You can get it really cheap on G2A, or if you don't want to go through G2A, you can wait for the Steam sales. I don't even think it's that expensive on Steam alone. Let me check real quick. Yeah, looking at it, it's $30 on Steam. You can check GOG.com or G2A. I'm sure you can get it a lot cheaper. It's definitely worth the price, even at $30. It's a game that you'll spend so many hours in. I myself have put over 40 hours in this game, I'm sure of it. It's definitely worth the play, guys. Hi guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I take a lot of time making these videos, but I really love doing it. So if you have a game that you would really like me to review, or just see gameplay of it, go ahead and write it down in the comments and I'll be sure to look into it. Also, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and subscribe to me because I plan on making a lot of these videos. I really enjoy doing them. So that being said, thank you again for watching my videos. Go ahead, rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys very much.
Don't taste me rushing, keep your words naked.